1 minute warning!
To the goofball army out there, hi at the families, tell them to get to the next room, tell them to go to your neighbors, because we got goofball news to go over, and it might get crazy.
Typically does, guys. If this is your first episode ever, you got like 30 seconds before we start, so not enough time to go to the bathroom, but go get a drink, because trust me, you're probably going to need it there. In the meantime, the rest, if you haven't already, go ahead and hit that thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, hit that bell. That way you know about future episodes as well, guys. Buckle your seatbelts if you haven't already. Make sure your tray is in the upright position here, guys, because we are just about ready to get going. And like, oof.
Guys, if you want a crazy ride going forward, a bunch of nonsense, but all nothing but the truth about the Giants, listen in, buckle in, tell a friend.
Let's go.
And now, here are your goofball hosts, Drew and Rob.
Welcome, fellow goofballs, to Two Giant Goofballs, a New York Giants podcast. I am Drew, joined as always by...
me, Rob. And it's a Monday show. Look at that, guys.
Oh, yes, guys. As it's time to talk about, are we better or worse after the start of free agency? And, you know, I feel like we got to talk about the fact that, first off, guess what, guys? Free agency's not done yet.
Nope.
I feel like people are not understanding that for some reason. So, again, I don't know what it is, but free agency is not done. But we're going to go over everything as far as, are we better? Are we worse? Where do we still need to pick up players? Where's like we're scary good? Because there's some places now that I do feel like we're kind of getting scary good at now. So let's go over that, guys. And then we also have a little bit of news for free agency too as well. We've signed a player. We had somebody come in today into the office, so to speak, there and do for a visit with the Giants. So we're going to go over all of it with you guys. All righty, guys. Let's first, we got to give a little shout out here because I know we got a couple other content creators in the chat there. We got He's a Giants. I don't know which one of the two it is there, but appreciate you guys. And they're always late on, by the way, and really good stuff there. They dive really great, especially into like draft coverage too as well. And I think they're like just shy of getting that 1,000 subscriber, which is a big thing, by the way, for content creators. So if you guys haven't already, go over to He's a Giant and go ahead and subscribe to their channel there. Also got to give a shout out there to Ryan's Big Blue podcast as well. Again, if you guys haven't, give, as Jay likes to call him, McLovin, a like and subscribe as well. Go for it by all means. We always like to support content creators that support other content creators and do good content in the process as well. So like I said, definitely good to have other people in here as well, because they can tell you if we're wrong or not. They like, these guys really are goofballs. They don't know what the hell they're talking about.
Bunch of idiots over here.
Would not be the first, people would not be the last, that's for sure. So like I said, so again, we're going to go over position by position, where we're better, where we're not better. We're going to start off with quarterback, where, let's be very frank, we're going better or worse. And we got to give this one kind of an even grade at this point. We didn't change much, obviously. Jaxson Dart's still the starter. Jameis Winston's still the backup. Russell Wilson is still sitting around wondering what's going on. So, I mean, you know, I heard a rumor that he's hoping the Chiefs sign him. And it's funny because Justin Fields just got traded today.
6th-round pick.
So, yeah. So, you know, it's like, I'm like, that's one less spot for Russell Wilson to go. Let's be honest. At this point, he needs just hold Sierra's purse. That's his job. I'm trying to be a jerk about it. It's just time to hang up. I appreciate everything at the NFL, but it's time.
He's just there. Thinks he's going to start a job in the NFL these days. Yeah.
I think he's just holding hope. Listen, I kind of feel bad for all athletes when they get to that stage. Because think about it. Your whole life, you know, high school onward. I mean, maybe not so much the pop one or the 7-year-olds aren't running around like crazy and stuff like that, getting all excited. But high school and onward, you're told you're the greatest thing since freaking sliced bread because of you being able to throw a football in his case. And that's over.
Short in doing it.
But I'm saying that's over now. I feel honestly, it's got to be a mind fuck. Like that. There's a psychological part of that people don't talk about enough. It's bad enough as you start at the decline, you start losing some of that attention. But imagine especially for a guy like him. And listen, I got an ego myself, so I don't say it as a jerk. I say it honestly. The man has an ego. So,
anyone
I
that's
hope
in the NFL probably has an ego because you kind of need one to get there.
kind of does happen. So I hope the best for him. But listen, guys, we're going to pick up a third quarterback. I'm not worried about that. And I'm going to throw this out early spoiler alert warning. I'm really hoping that somehow Cole Payton drops to us in the 6th round, because I feel like that'd be a nice developmental quarterback. Though in reality, I hope he goes to somebody like the Rams, something like that actually can spend the time to develop him right. But that's a story for the day at the quarterback show we do. Let's talk about the running backs. And we're kind of making like a hybrid on this whole thing here, because obviously we still got Cam Skattebo, we still got Tyrone Tracy, we still got Devin Singletary, who took his pay cut. And I got to say, I'm kind of shocked still he took that pay cut, but I'm glad he did as well. I don't hate having him on the team. He just wasn't worth this $6 million, whatever his cap pay was going to be. But here's where we get to it, is Patrick Ricard. Like Pancake Pat. We got to throw him into that running back room because we don't have a fullback category. And for the last couple of years, we've been trying to go ahead and like have tight ends play fullback. And some of them didn't do a bad job. Chris Manhurst, obviously, is a very good blocker. Daniel Bellinger was a very good blocker as well. But let's be very frank. None of them are the legit tight end that Ricard is. Just flat out. It's not a disrespect to them. They're not tight ends. They were doing a job that wasn't their intention. Now you have a guy legitimately is the best in the NFL, potentially. I'll put it that way, but it was backtrack a little bit. Potentially the best in the NFL, because there's a debate on that with one or two other people there. But is it former All-Pro? And the guy is a freaking beast. Imagine being like you're a linebacker, okay? All of a sudden, you get a 300-pound beast slamming into you. And then you got Skattebo right behind him, who's like a little like a pit bull chihuahua, like running into people, like with no right doing so for the size of body he is.
It's absolutely insane. I'm excited to see this record crew come in.
Yes. Now, I do got to give you guys a heads up as well. We like to do occasional fun little merch items in the store as well. And this is where the people in video really get the good one. And Rob's already smiling because he saw this earlier. We got the pancake collection now available officially on the Two Giant Goofball merch store, twogiantgoofballs-shop.fourthwall.com. I'm going to go ahead and put the link also in the chat, so if anybody's interested. We did Pat's Pancake House, home of the fullback stack. Listen, we're excited about him. Out of all the guys, I feel like that's the guy we're most excited about.
Yeah, because I'm really excited to see how this run game develops since the passing game, and see how much he's going to step up, block, help, dart, and you watch him take off.
And what's crazy is I don't think I've ever had a scenario where I'm excited about a fullback.
Yeah, I didn't think I was going to be excited about a fullback, but this, like, the way this offense is set up, the way it's like looking to go, fantastic.
Yeah, like it's really like, this is, again, I think the combination of him and Skattebo is going to be the fun one. I know a lot of people are talking about it, and it's funny. I saw an interview with him, and he was talking about it, and I didn't put two and two together on this. Shame on me to a certain degree there. I can't, I can't think of everything, but I didn't until he said this. Apparently, Ricard actually got into the NFL with the Ravens the same year that Tremaine Edmunds did. So they're part of that same rookie class for the Ravens. So they actually still talk. And I was unaware of that part. But, what happened was he was talking about, he was on the phone on a video conference, actually, with the Luminor. And he talked to Dart as well. And the two of them were really recruiting and trying to get him here, which, I mean, again, he said he point blank he'd go play for a high school football team if it's coached by Harbaugh. So, I mean, to be honest, didn't need that much. But he said that Skattebo was in the background, like yelling and screaming and causing a scene and everything, and he was just all for it. Like these two together are going to be fun. I'm telling you, like it's going to be a blast. Like he just loves the energy that Skattebo has, and has a calmer version of the same energy.
That's a fair statement.
And I just love the fact that we're going to old school, because if you look at what's going on with football the last couple of years, and you and I have talked about this before, Rob. Eventually, everything changes and flip-flops and turned around. You go to a smaller defense because all of a sudden, people are getting these little receivers thrown over everywhere, and you're getting speed everywhere and everything at that point. And that's what the NFL has done now. But what's crazy now is teams have gotten so small. You got people that are size of safeties now playing linebackers. Guys who are size of linebackers now playing defensive line.
Yeah, because they're all looking for that speed and agility. But guess what? Sometimes that speed and agility doesn't mean shit when you got 300-pound fullback and a 205-pound running back going up the gut that just want to smash.
That's what I'm saying. Imagine we're going to have a scenario where you got a guy like Pancake Pat here running into guys, and the defensive line even that he's bigger than. Yeah. And then Skattebo just bum rushing right through the linebacker. We're going to have old school smash mouth football going against a scenario where we got tiny linebackers and defense. I love the fact that we're switching up now. And this is what we should have done a long time ago. This is what I always say is find the strength of a team you're going to face. And don't go to beat them at that strength. Then go, okay, if this is what they're good at, what are they weak at? And that's what I need to attack. Because for every strength, there's a weakness. That's life.
Yeah.
So, I love it. I'm really ecstatic to see that. And I'm just hoping that it's all we do hope for. We've been hurt before. We were hurt last year. We all know last year, we were hoping for something a little better. So, there was a different energy in the room, right, Jay? Because I know Jay's going to say it. That's what everybody was saying. Even Tiki, who was usually pretty honest, he just kind of keeps his mouth shut, doesn't think good things. They just because he don't want to, be that guy. But he doesn't really tend to BS positivity. It's never been his style.
Yeah.
This run game. Oof.
Can't wait.
Yes, exactly. So, and also, yes, thanks, Deb. Everybody, if you haven't already, hit that thumbs up, guys, because I'm telling you that I don't know what it is about YouTube specifically. It's just crazy how YouTube will push out videos based on thumbs up. It's insanity. It really is. There's Jay with it. The vibes are different this season. Upgrade a quarterback. Well, in all fairness, we did get the upgrade at quarterback, just not the way it was mentioned because we thought Russell Wilson was a temporary upgrade. Jaxson Dart, though, he says, "Hi, it could be a weapon. He easily could be a weapon. You might have a better chance at being a weapon than a football player. I don't know. Get some kung fu training or something, huh?" So let's get into those wide receivers there, because wide receiver room definitely's got some more changes. So we lost Wan'Dale Robinson, obviously, little T-Rex himself. We have to do it one more time. One more time. But we lost Wan'Dale Robinson. We gained, and that's one we got to talk about. We haven't had this discussion yet. I didn't pull out the all-on episode emergency podcast for us this weekend, even though we signed Darnell Mooney, the wide receiver, 1-year deal up to $10 million. Because, guys, we've been talking about it on this show for how long now?
You've been screaming for it.
We've been saying this was going to happen. I feel like, listen, we've been patting ourselves in the back, and rightfully so, for Tremaine Edmunds, because we called that a long time before it ever went down. We called that before you went on the trading block.
Yeah, that's
we also call the Mooney thing. It's almost like we know what we're doing. Almost. Gotta. We're
a little goofy here.
So we got Darnell Mooney, who is a nice addition. And I know everybody's kind of comparing him to Darius Slayton. I'll say this. Darius Slayton's got a little bit of a downswing the last couple of years. Mooney is 1 year removed from his second best season in his career. And last year he was hurt. We talked about it before. Broken collarbone in the summer, had a bunch of minor injuries. He was facing a battle through to play the whole season. So I'm not going to sit there and call him a secondary as Slayton. Though I'll say this, we're probably one of the very few people that wouldn't mind a secondary as Slayton as a depth piece. Throwing that part of it out as a depth piece. So, but obviously we also gained Calvin Austin III, Esquire.
Esquire.
We have to always say that. We re-signed Isaiah Hodgins, re-signed Gunner Olszewski. But listen, let's give all the due where it's due. Wan'Dale is potentially better than anybody we've gained. That's the truth of the matter.
100%.
But look at the depth that we have now. Last year, we had guys coming off the freaking streets to play. Like, it was insanity. Like, we were putting in like, we have some games with literally 4 receivers in the active roster. We had games where it's like guys like Bo Collins had to be counted on. Like, that was one of the interceptions that in that Saints game was a Bo Collins interception. You know, like, it just.
I mean, towards the year, Gunner Olszewski, like, he was supposed to be like a punt returner for us, and we had to put him in to play. I mean, granted, it was a nice surprise because he played pretty well for us for what it was worth. But typically, when you get a guy just to be a punt returner and you have to rely on him to be a receiver, there's an issue in your depth.
There's something about that Dart and Olszewski thing. I'm hoping for something out of it this year. Here's the depth, though, guys. Malik Nabers, Darnell Mooney, Darius Slayton, Calvin Austin III, Isaiah Hodgins, Gunner Olszewski. Notice that I took Jalen Hyatt off that list, by the way.
Kind of have to.
I'm just pointing it out because I don't expect him to make it out of camp. Based on what we have on the roster now, that would be the 6 receivers I would expect to make it. A lot can change between now and the early September. So, plus I know you got the Tate thing looming over us that would change some things there. But think about it. That's 2 wide receivers that have hit 1,000 yards in their career. That's 3 guys that have hit over 750 yards in their career. That's 4 guys who have hit over 500 yards in their career. Gone are the Jalen Hyatt, the bust. The guys who should never have seen the field, the Bo Collins, the Dalen Cambry, there's guys like that quite frankly do not belong on an NFL roster. And again, I say that with respect. Like, they're rookies. They needed time to be in training camps and to go ahead and hit the practice squad and see if you can develop them. I'm not saying give up fully on them. They should have never seen the field last year, either one of them.
Yeah.
And none of these contracts were crazy. You gave $10 million to Mooney. And it's up to. We haven't heard the full details. It says up to. So we'll have to see, what the difference is going to be there. But even at $10 million, if you told me just straight out 1 year, $10 million, I'm still cool with that, guys.
Yeah. We saved $7.5 million by not signing Wan'Dale with that, which, granted, I'm a Wan'Dale fan. I want him to stay.
Yeah, we did.
But
not at $19 million.
No.
That's, like I said, you can make the case that we got better depth because you got to keep in mind, again, we're not trying to replace 2025 Wan'Dale. We're trying to replace 2024 Wan'Dale. Yeah.
Fair.
So I got to throw that out there because keep in mind, a lot of that 1,000-yard season is because he was the only receiver we had. But this is what makes sense. And this is what you and I talked about this, Rob. The Ravens offense was always set this way. You get one stud receiver, and then you get a whole bunch of guys that are depth pieces and have solid depth across the board. And I'm going to throw this out there, and I try not to get too bullish on anybody this time of the year because we all get, kind of excited about the season until it starts, of course. We get excited about the season.
Especially the past 2 years.
And he's a Giants right in with it, too. Calvin Austin III, guys. Watch him have a career year. There's something about Jaxson Dart and those little tiny receivers. I don't know what it is. He just loves little guys. I don't know if his, I know he has a little brother there, I forget his name. He had a fun last name. I forget his last name, but maybe his little brother's a little guy. He felt the need to keep on. But there's something about him, a little guy. It's like Wan'Dale was beasting with him last year. Gunner Olszewski comes out and hits 400 yards against the freaking Cowboys.
Absolutely nuts. I mean, granted, the Cowboys their defense looked a little better second half of the year, but yeah.
I'm just saying, I really think watch that kid have a much better season at end of it as anticipated. And I'm not saying like 1,200 or 1,300 yards, something crazy, but watch him get 700, 800 yards and it not shock us.
Which would be nice. Because you expect, Nabers to hit 1,000. I'm going to say he's going to go what he did.
Yes.
His rookie year with 1,300 or whatever, but,
Like I said, I think he's going to be that sneaky guy. I really do. I think he's going to be much better. So, tight ends. Let's talk about the tight ends here. We got the one big difference here. We signed Isaiah Likely, again, as we said we would. We lost Daniel Bellinger, again, as we said we would. This is a lot of I told you so in this episode, by the way. Sorry. We're validating our things we've said. We re-signed Chris Manhertz, which we kind of said we probably would too, but
well, that's kind of a staple.
Basically, we've gone ahead and re-signed Manhertz to bring back the exact room, except Likely instead of Bellinger. I don't think I need to have a degree of a doctorate emeritus from Harvard University to sit there and tell you guys that Isaiah Likely is a better player than Daniel Bellinger. And we liked Bellinger. Like, we ain't bashing him. We liked Bellinger.
Yeah.
Like, we were probably higher on Bellinger than pretty much anybody. And I feel bad for the kid, but it's his own doing. Why do you want to go to the Titans to go play for the same coach who wouldn't play your last contract? I don't know.
It doesn't make sense to me.
Doesn't make sense still. But that's, that's the Titans, a.k.a. Giants South problem. So I'll let them deal with their own issues. But Isaiah Likely is going to replace Wan'Dale Robinson. We talked a minute ago about Calvin Austin and what we think he's going to be able to do. And I still think he's going to be, much better with us than he was with Pittsburgh. By the way, we have a tendency to take Pittsburgh Steelers receivers and make them better. Anybody else thinking of Plexico Burris? Totally different player, but I'm saying. But Isaiah Likely, I'm telling you right now, guys. And again, we said this a second ago with Calvin Austin, same thing. We're not replacing 25 Wan'Dale when he was the only legit receiver. We're trying to replace 24 Wan'Dale, the one that plays alongside Nabers and has to share the ball. That year, he got 699 yards, guys. There is no doubt in my mind that Isaiah Likely can do that. We talked about when we signed him. He averaged 50 yards a game when Mark Andrews was out.
Yeah, he started off the year hot.
Yeah. And again, he's going to have to go ahead and play alongside Theo Johnson. So I don't think he's going to get the full, when we say it's 850, when we said that would be for a year. Yeah, 850. That makes sense because 17 times 50. Yeah. I'm like, I don't want to do math in my head. Actually, it's not that difficult. I got this. But yeah, but I think 700 or so is probably legit for him. And I think watching him, the way he blocked for Lamar, I'm excited about that, guys. Like, again, we talked about this when we signed him, and everybody's been preaching this the whole entire time with him. He's not a great blocker. And I'm not trying to talk him up as if he's the second coming of Howard Cross here. Like, he's the complete opposite. But what he is he's a guy that for some reason, specifically in the open field, he's a damn good blocker. And he's a damn good scrambler tight end that just figures out a way to find a soft spot in the zone or get open somehow for the quarterback that's scrambling. So
yeah.
I think that him and Dart are going to work out so well. And I think the fact that it's a Harbaugh guy adds to it. But it's like, even if Harbaugh wasn't here as the coach, again, thank God he is. But even if he wasn't, the fact that you have a guy that worked so well with a scrambling tight end, scrambling quarterback, it's going to be massive. I'm telling you guys, This is going to be a hell of an offense. I cannot wait because they're building these things. It's not just to support Dart, but they're building it off of what Dart does well. They're not just saying, let's get Dart talent. They're saying, let's get talent that will help and develop Dart. That's what they're doing. There's such a plan. It's not even funny.
It's fantastic. It's like
when's the last time you seen a plan, Rob, though? A plan from this team.
A good plan. It's been a long time. I've seen some plans, and it just did not work out. Well, what you think it's a plan, and it just comes to that falling through. Like picking up Daniel Waller and just asking him to block the whole time. That's idiotic.
Yeah, like I said, this is gonna be a fun season. I have a feeling there. Well, I hope we're not wrong again. We were last year. I'll admit it freely. I admit not just when we're right, but when we're wrong. But I really think it's going to be a fun season for us. Let's talk about the offensive line here. This is one category that I'm going to see worse. And here's the big reason why. It's because we still have that empty spot at right guard. And I almost want to give it an incomplete, but we didn't. We're doing better, worse, even. That's it. We're not doing incompletes. We're doing as it stands right now. So we've lost Austin Schlottman. We've re-signed Jermaine Illuminor. We've re-signed Aaron Stinney. We've re-signed Evan Neal, which is the shocker of the century. Again, guys, anybody who wasn't there for the episode, we talked about that. Minimum deal, no guaranteed money. Don't worry. Absolutely no point in worrying about this.
So weird.
And I wish I remember who said this online. But somebody had said it in X, and I want to give them the credit. I just don't know who did say this. And they said, imagine a scenario where we didn't get Harbaugh as the head coach and Evan Neal went down to Baltimore. You'd be worried that Evan Neal would get fixed by Harbaugh, right?
Yeah, well, here's Harbaugh.
We have nothing to lose, guys. So don't worry about that. Anyway, still a free agent. The big one is Greg Van Roten. And again, you want to give this incomplete, basically, because of that right guard spot. And I still get the vibe that Greg Van Roten is going to go ahead and be a head coach. Be a guard for us eventually. Whether it's a backup or a starter, I don't know. He obviously can start, but he seems to want to be here. And keep in mind, he's a New Yorker. Maybe he just wants to play close to home. Maybe that's what it is. At this point, his career is, 36 years old?
Yeah, he's getting up there.
Probably doesn't want to move his family again. Probably knows the end is near anyway. So, again, he was at the Harbaugh press conference. He's been all over Twitter talking about players as they get signed and stuff like that. Like he sits there back to like the guy who's a veteran that just doesn't want to sign yet. You know what I mean? Like he's like, I'm just gonna wait till some of the opening camps are over, or I'll just sign paper then. Like it wouldn't surprise me at all if there's a wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Would not shock me at all if there's a wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
I also assume they're just trying to let him go to free agency and let him pull that number back down. This yeah.
I don't know. I don't think he cares about the money. Is the scary part with him. I mean, think about it. Like, he literally put $3 million from us last year. Don't tell me somebody wouldn't have paid him more. That's just where I'm at there. So like I said, I do imagine he's going to be back at some point. And that'll potentially put us to a better, depending on what else we do with the offensive line. So it's more of an incomplete, but we got to give a worse for now. We also got to give a shout out there to Jay with the $5 super chat saying, Goofball has been killing it lately. Appreciate it, man. Appreciate you always supporting as well. And listen, we got to give a shout out here as well, because one person said something online and wasn't bad. I got to get to it because a couple of days ago, but I took a screenshot because I want to give you word for word what he said. If I can find it real quick, I take too many screenshots per day is the problem here. This is what happens when you're not prepared between like work and all. So all that are on here on a regular basis, Greg Denham is always pretty much on our channel, whether it's after the fact. I'm guessing he probably works at night or something like that, but he watches it a lot after the fact, but he'll be on live when he can. He put on there after our last episode, he put, damn, I can't get a shout out live, Drew. I'm y'all's biggest fan that's poor and watches the next day. Just messing y'all. Always love the show, and it's all about our Giants. Great show, guys, and go Giants. And I want to give him the shout out because literally he is on every single episode. And he may not make it live, and that's fine. We all got lives outside of this. I don't hate on that. But every single one he's on. So I do want to give him the shout out as well there. Also, Ryan Run with the 199 super chat there. Appreciate it, man. Thank you very much for supporting. Like I said, we got a lot of guys that are on all the time. We really do appreciate everybody. Like seriously, like it's don't make me get all emotional because Jay will tell me to make fun of me for like a year about it. But
well, just don't cry this time.
I didn't cry. There's no crying in baseball.
It's a football podcast. You cry. Damn it.
Wrong sport. Anyway, back to the offensive line here. But again, I think we're going to get Greg Van Roten. We already tried to sign Elijah Vera Tucker, who ended up going to the Patriots because of language. We wanted the deal to protect us because of his injury history. They almost signed Wyatt Teller. Apparently, they were $2 million apart, is what Connor Hughes said. Wyatt Teller's still a free agent, guys. I wouldn't be shocked at all if that happens eventually down the line, because there hasn't been yet the market I think he thought was going to be there. And Chase knows, has he seen his girl? She's smoking. Well, she shouldn't smoke. It's very bad for her health.
Yeah. It's the leading cause of lung cancer.
There's a term I forget for NFL wives, but I feel like all the wives of the players we're signing are like 100% like on social media and popular on social media for non-football reasons. We'll put it that way. And that's fine. Listen, they're putting their lives out. We were talking about one the other day. Was it Jordan Stout, his fiance, when she put out the video of them on signing and how things went? We liked it from a football standpoint, but I'm sure there's some people that might like it beyond the football standpoint as well. I'm just saying. Jason, I don't care if she smokes and drinks. She's fine as hell. Anyway, I do think Wyatt Teller has the potential to sign for the Giants here eventually. It's just a matter of, does anybody get desperate and start paying him more than what they were willing to do originally? You know what I mean? Like, I just feel like that's where it's at. But again, we'll have somebody that right guard. I don't have any doubts in that whatsoever. In fact, Marcus Bowe was the guy that I think not enough people are talking about as a potential to play somewhere as well. You know, it depends on what Harbaugh thinks of him. We don't know what this coaching staff thinks of him, you know? I think Marcus Bowe was a little overblown, but he's got the potential. That's for sure. So, you know, I do think you'll probably see a lot of people in general fighting for positions. And that's the beauty of a new coaching staff. Nothing's going to be guaranteed. It's going to be go in there, fight for your job. So
the way it should be.
Now, as we're talking about the offensive line, we do got to mention the Giants did bring someone in for a visit today. Just a visit. No one got signed. But the visit was with Ryan Bates. No relation to Norman Bates, to the best of my knowledge. 29 years old, 6'4", 306 pounds. Big boy. Originally undrafted at Penn State. Signed with the Eagles initially, but was traded at the end of their training camp there in 19 and went to the Bills. Now, who was the assistant GM that traded for him at that point? Oh, yeah, that's right. Joe Shane, our lead scout / GM. That's the proper title for him now, I think. Lead scout / GM. But again, there's the history there. He played with the Bills from 19 to 23. Played with the Bears the last 2 seasons. His career overall, 92 games, 21 starts. 19 of those starts were with the Bills, including 15 and 22 when he had a 61.8 PFF grade. So obviously not great, but not embarrassing. You know, not Evan Neal, not Andrew Thomas.
Somewhere in the middle.
Yeah. He lost a lot of playing time in 24. He had a shoulder issue, an elbow issue. He had a concussion. He had all kinds of issues. He's been healthy otherwise, though. That's the interesting part about it. It's like all his injuries hit him at once. In fact, his injuries were so bad, he apparently considered retiring and instead went overseas and got stem cell treatments that you can't get in the U.S. We're not going to get into the argument of if you should or shouldn't. That's a different topic for a different show. But he did that and got back healthy, and now he was able to play last year. Played in 15 games, played primarily just on special teams. Again, I think it's just a guy that the front office has some familiarity with. They're going to bring him in, see what he's got left, basically. And if he signs, honestly, he sounds much like a camp body to me.
I believe so.
That's it. And nothing wrong with that. Bring in guys. You need bodies in camp. I have no problem with it whatsoever, So that's fine with it. All right, guys. We're going to get to the defense here because I saw the comment a minute ago from Jay Snow saying, did I miss the defense talk? Not yet. We're about to get there. Before we do, of course, we want to go ahead and remind everybody, of course, that we have the Buy Me a Coffee, buymeacoffee.com/2giantgoofballs, the best way to go ahead and support the show because, quite frankly, they take the least amount of our money. So you could do one-time supports by buying us a beer there. You can also go ahead and do monthly support if you want as well. And, of course, as we mentioned before, this year we're going to be doing a draft guide as well with the guys. That's going to be literally over 200 players we plan on doing this year. We will be doing everybody from quarterbacks, running backs, defense. We'll also go ahead and do, of course, even punters, kickers. We've got a fullback we're doing this year, all kinds of fun stuff there. I'll put the link in there if anybody's interested. It's one of those things that the closer it gets to the draft, the higher the amount's going to be to get it. And again, to the best of my knowledge, it is the only one that is specifically geared towards how players fit for the New York Giants, because that'll definitely be part of the analysis as well there for you guys. And, of course, as always, we have the merch store. I don't know why Rob keeps going away every time I hit a button there. So we got a course the merch store, 2giantgoofballs.shop.fourthwall.com, where you can get shirts, you can get towels, you got cups, we got mugs, we got all kinds of fun stuff there. And like I said, we do have our new pancake collection as well, which of course is got an apron, we got a shirt, we got a coffee mug, which looks like a diner coffee mug. I had a lot of fun with that one. And of course a hoodie as well. Since Jay asked for a hoodie specifically, I specifically made a hoodie this time for him. But it's the Pat's Pancake House, home with the fullback stack there. And of course, as always, spend $100 or more on the store and go ahead and get free shipping as well there, guys. And again, of course, you can go ahead and support the show the free way by just hitting that like, hitting that subscribe, hitting that thumbs up, especially. Again, YouTube just loves the thumbs up. I don't know what it is with the thumbs up with them, but they just are insane about it. So again, appreciate you guys for supporting the show as always. And we got, like, since we've even started, we got 6 new subscribers on here as well. I think I saw Monty, somebody was saying Monty there, which of course, we gave him and his partner there some love there in the beginning of the show there He's a Giant there for, great content they do as well, but appreciate them supporting us as well there. Like I said, it's nice that Giants content creators, as in general, it's a community. Minus a couple people, we won't get into who, but minus a couple people, for the most part, it's a community. We all get along. We're like coworkers more than competitors. If that makes sense. That's the way we prefer to look at it. So we prefer to look at it here. So let's see here, because I did see. Let's see here. Okay. Let's get into our defense here, because that's one spot that's going to be a little more negative on. Offense, we're happy about. Defense going to be a little more negative. The defensive line, let's talk about that.
Do we have to?
And yeah, well, we do have to. And I am curious because Chase said, well, McLovin just shredded Tim on today online. So I'm kind of curious about that part. I love when I'm not in the drama, but I can read and follow the drama a bit freely. But let's get to the defensive line, because we got some stuff that's unfinished. We've said that from the get-go. It's early on. It's a weekend of free agency. Nothing is done. This is not completed. I got to reiterate that. I'm having faith that Harbaugh, our actual GM, Dawn DePonte, and the supposed GM, Joe Shane, will fix this stuff before it's all said and done.
He's the GM.
But we've signed nobody, guys. We've lost nobody yet either, technically. But we so far have from last year unsigned Nacho, Raheem Nunez-Roches, and DJ Davidson. And listen, the fact that they're still unsigned tells you all you need to know about this as well. You know, if Brian Dable didn't go running to sign those two for the Titans.
But then they picked up 20 previous players that were Giants. My God.
Yeah. Like, again, this is just a group that feels like a complete incomplete here. And I don't know what the plan is overall. I know a lot of people say Christian Wilkins. Again, I don't know how his health is. I don't know how the locker room issues that supposedly happened in the Raiders and what was going on there. I don't pretend to know. All I know is I can't include him as a possibility without knowing that stuff. So for right now, he's up in the air. If we get more information, maybe he's an interesting piece. But otherwise, it's going to be just trying to get legit NFL players to be there with Dexter Lawrence up front. Because it just seems chaotic that, and again, we're talking the front three right now. We're not talking edge. We're not talking off-ball linebackers, just the actual defensive line. It just seems crazy to me that we haven't done anything with this group yet. And this is the spot, along with corner, which we'll get to later on, that I have the biggest concerns with right now. Yeah. But I'm having faith here, guys, with you. We're all this together. We have faith that this new front office will get it right in the end. Because there's still time. You got the draft. And those of y'all that watch on a regular basis know that I have an infatuation with the Giants drafting Peter Woods. I won't hide it. Trade down, get Peter Woods. Get the best run stopper you possibly can. You actually want to stop the run, go get the best guy available to do it. That was a big problem.
Plugging the holes.
Yeah. But I think we'll also sign somebody. And I don't know who it's going to be. It could just be a big body guy that's good at stopping the run that doesn't get the love. Because, those guys don't get love. When you talk about the best defensive tackles of all time, it's always like Warren Sapp, Aaron Donald, the guys who go get 10 sacks a season kind of guy. It's not the guys that I'm not saying he's the best at this ever, but a guy like Snacks, Damon Harrison back in the day with the Giants. Guy was just a big body that clogged the middle. That's what we need. So we'll see what it is. I do think they're going to go ahead and get it. Also see Ryan with, is Dalvin Tomlinson still available? I believe he got signed. I also believe he got signed for way much more money than he should have gotten signed for, if I remember correctly. Let's see here. Chargers got him. That's who it was. Chargers got him. So the other Harbaugh.
that's been good.
Yeah, I mean, up to $7.5 million for a guy that, quite frankly, sucked last year. Tomlinson is not the same Tomlinson he was with the Giants. Or the Vikings, for that matter. He's not the same player. So, but again, I'm sure we're going to get somebody, but for now, I got to say worse, because we're clearly worse. We've lost two guys. We haven't replaced them. So,
yeah.
But we'll talk about edge. Edge, it's. I think it's safe to call it even, but you could sit there and say it's a small decline because of depth. But we're going to say even, because it's the guys that matter, it's the same. We got a couple guys out there that are still free agents. Timon Fox is still a free agent. I'm sure he'll come back and then get dropped, then come back, and then get dropped, and then come back, because that's just what he does for last 30 years with the Giants, it seems like. Victor Dumakeje, which is one of the free agents we got last year, is not re-signed either. He's still available as well. Barely played for us. You guys probably might even say who.
Exactly.
Which could either be me mispronouncing the last name, or the fact you just never saw him because he never played. He was never healthy. So, those two are gone, but you still got, of course, Brian Burns, Abdul Carter, Kayvon Thibodeau. You still got Golston as well, who I think, if he's healthy, could go ahead and be that comeback kind of player, especially if we trade Thibodeau in the end and he becomes a bigger role for us there. Again, he also can move around. He plays the defensive line long playing edge. I'm kind of curious to see what they do with him this year, because, quite frankly, we all know we were a little disappointed with the defense last year. That's safe to say. A little disappointed.
Just a smidge.
So, yeah. So we'll see. I mean, I'll give him one more year because he was injured last year because of the fact that the defense scheme sucked. We all know that. We all know that. Like, there's no hiding that in any way, shape, or form. So, let's see what happens. And let's see if we end up getting, better than we've been, with having him at depth. Because when he's healthy, he's good. But again, we lost the two guys, so we're gonna say even, but you really got to split hairs. It's a little bit less.
Yeah.
And depending on what happens with Kayvon, this group might end up as a worse than last year rating because of that overall when the whole thing's all done.
Yeah, it's hard to say because, like you said, free agency's not done yet, so there's a lot of things that could happen. But yeah, just as of right now, it's got to stick even because.
Yeah, I mean, because I'm just saying, if we get rid of Thibodeau, hypothetically, and we get Chauncey Golston back, and we go ahead and get him right and healthy, and we sign another veteran, like I mentioned Kyle Van Noy a couple of times, I think he'd be an interesting veteran guy to bring in. It's still a great group. Like, that's still solid. It's just, will Thibodeau be there? And that's going to be the big question for this group. But again, nobody wants to seem to give up anything to get Thibodeau.
Yeah, so bring him back if that's the case.
Yeah, well, if no one's going to give you anything significance, the only reason you would trade him is to get the money. That's the only reason you would do it. Otherwise, hold on for the year, try to get a comp pick, and call it a day. That's what it boils down to. All right, let's get into the linebacker talk. So we have gone ahead and lost two. We've lost Bobby Okereke and Chris Board. Both were cut. We signed Tremaine Edmunds. We re-signed Micah McFadden and Zaire Barnes. I'm going to say the group is better. And only because I am a big fan of Edmunds on this team. I think this is a good fit. I think this is exactly what we need.
I think it's a great fit. And it's you get rid of Okereke, who's been on a downward slide the past few years.
Yes.
You pick up a guy that's a national leader in the locker room. Okereke is building the stats the past couple of years, but it's not really actually playing football. But Edmunds has been playing great football for, what's 29? So 9 years at this point. So bring him in, let him be that dude up in the middle, and yeah, big change. If that's the only two moves you make is Okereke gone and you bring in Edmunds, like that's it. You won. But obviously there's more that's been done.
There'll be more that will be done too, I still think. I mean, again, we all know that the option's going to be there at 5 potentially if we stay there. Sonny Styles is a big name as a potential there. Though, he kind of scares me a little bit because he's the combine warrior. But, there's options. Reese is going to be there potentially at 5. We don't know yet Foley's going to be there. Depends what 1 through 4 does, obviously. But we could be adding a big name draft prospect to this group potentially. I just think personally myself that Edmunds is going to fit well into what we need to get done here. Edmunds has 2 things he does very well. He runs up and tries to hit the running back. I never saw Bobby Okereke do that the last couple of years.
Yeah, he's also stacked like 10 yards behind the line of scrimmage. So if he did it, the running back at that point already got his 5-6 yards.
So, but you know what? Even when we got rid of Bowen and we went ahead and ran a better defensive scheme, obviously the second half of the season, I still didn't think I saw that from him. And like I said, I don't know if the injury that he had in 24 just kind of zapped everything from him or just needed a change of pace because being around the losing just kind of killed him. I don't know. But what I do feel like is he's just not the right fit anymore. Edmunds does that, and Edmunds also covers. The one thing you can sit there about Edmunds say he doesn't do necessarily great is rush the passer. Well, we don't have to worry about that. We have Burns for that. We have Carter for that. We have Sexy Dexy for that. We have Darius Alexander for that. We have Golston if he goes back to himself for that. We have Kayvon potentially for that, depending on how the trade market goes. Though we don't need Edmunds to go ahead and be the pass rusher. He does what we need. And that's the key. Like I said, it's not just signing players. It's signing players we need because of what our system is. He fits the system. And he's not just a stat compiler. He's a legit game changer. I'm telling you now, watch him have like 120 tackles with the Giants this year. I'm telling you, watch. It's going to happen. All right. Let's talk about corners. Where we like to turn a corner, but we still
turn the corner.
That's wrong song.
Right now.
Turn around. Let's turn around.
Turn the corner. Right. Yeah.
We lost Cordell Flott. We've signed Greg Newsome the second. He doesn't get the Esquire, not till his third. And we've re-signed Art Green. That's about it. You know, not a lot of movement in the position we needed movement. Like, are we really going to let Greg Newsome and Deontay Banks fight it out for CB2?
That'd be terrible.
Yeah. It's a concern of mine. And again, we could trade down and we can go ahead and get a corner. Like that's a possibility. But we all know drafting a corner in the first round is like buying a lottery ticket. It goes either very well or very bad.
I bought a lot of lottery tickets in my time. I've never won big, so
I just feel like for every Sauce Gardner, there's a Deontay Banks.
Yeah.
I feel like corner's almost like the tight end of the defense. Like people just don't seem to know how to scout them. You know, like how many of you seen come out? Oh, they're gonna be great. Bust.
It's also just like tight ends with corners. It depends on the scheme because you do so much different things.
Yes.
And
that's why we got to be specific. We need to get physical, press coverage, man specialists. That's what we need.
Yeah.
So, and again, I don't think it's done yet, guys. Again, I think we'll get another corner. And it wouldn't shock me at all if we start seeing who gets cut after the draft and stuff like that too as well. And I think the Giants might get very aggressive because if you think about it there, everything the Ravens, though, again, this is all based on what the Ravens have done in the past. Those who don't learn from history are doomed to repeat it. What I like about what the Ravens did is the Ravens focused very much on comp picks. And what they would do is they would get a couple guys in the beginning. And they did it this year. You got Trey Hendrickson they got this year. They should have got Max Crosby. That's a whole different story. But so they get a little aggressive in the beginning. Then they kind of let the market settle down because they care about comp picks. They want to lose more than they gained. So they get these comp picks, get extra picks. And they go get veteran guys after the draft is over that are still available. You know, like,
yeah.
So that's what they do. And this is what I expect the Giants to do. I expect the Giants to go ahead and be really aggressive once the draft is over with any holes they think they need to fill. That has been the Raven way. And that's what they'll do. That's what they're bringing here. That's what he's learned. You know, I think that's what you're going to see mostly. The only, like I said, the only thing that I can see them bringing is maybe a veteran D-line, maybe a corner before the draft. That's it. I don't expect crazy moves. Maybe a guard. 3 guys.
Yeah, it's a guard.
Just so they don't have to go in to get, you know, specific spots filled in the draft. That's the worst you want to do is go in with a massive hole in the draft. But corner right now is one of those holes to me still. You know, I just feel like that's the spot you don't do. You don't go, you know, let's go in with a massive hole at CB2. You know what happens when you do that? Deontay Banks.
Yeah.
That's what happens.
Adios.
By the way, if you watched Hard Knocks, they point blank wanted to get one in the second round that year when they had the off-season Hard Knocks there. And that's how we got Tyler Nubin because all the corners were taken.
Nubin.
Don't go into the draft with a hole. Just never works well. So, Anyway, talked about Tyler Newman. Let's talk about the safeties. We lost Dane Belton. Some would call that a gain by losing Dane Belton, but we lost Dane Belton. We've signed Darius Washington, Jason Pinnock, Elijah Campbell. The starters, in theory, should stay the same. Again, we expect a lot of people to be playing for their jobs, basically, this training camp. And I think it's safe to say that Holland and Newman, the two guys that should be the starters, are definitely not guaranteed a damn thing because they both did not play up to snub last year. So the depth chart right now, though, like we had guys coming off the streets again in this position. This is like wide receiver for us the last couple of years. We have never prioritized depth at safety. We have officially prioritized depth at safety. And we will also have officially prioritized saying thank you to Anthony for a 1999.
Thanks, AC.
Yeah, man. Appreciate it, man. By the way, Anthony, I saw you just got on, so I had to make sure you saw the brand new addition here to the shop there, the pancake collection. I know you like it. We're pushing the pancake collection. Who knows when it goes away? You never know. I did take down the Wan'Dale shirt today. I officially did take the Wan'Dale Rex shirt. That's been retired.
Shame.
I felt bad doing it, but I retired it. Felt like the right move. But again, we have depth guys that we have never, ever had. Look at Jason Pinnock. 75 games, 46 starts. Washington, 29 games, 11 starts. Campbell, 68 games, 3 starts. I dare anybody to tell us who was our fourth safety last year after Dane Belton.
Nobody knows. We had no depth there.
I'm not even trying to call people out for not knowing the roster because I'm telling you, there's like 3 guys. It kept splitting up. We had no one. It was such a lack of depth entirely at the safety position. It's ridiculous. Anthony, we had 4 safeties last year.
Yeah.
It's just, like I said, I just feel like that's a massive upgrade at the position. Not the starters, but the depth. The depth is so much better at safety than it's been the last couple of years. And what's great is, again, it's safety. You backups play. They come in dime positions, nickel positions, all these things. They come down in third down. They come in much more often. This is not like the guy that's like your fourth tackle and you hope to never see him on the field because something bad happened if that happens.
Yeah.
This is guys that get legit playing time sometimes. As Deb says, last Golden Corral in Connecticut closed last year. Jason, you're making him sad. No more pot roast burritos in Connecticut. I swear someone's going to watch this show one time and go to a Golden Corral. I'm like, I want one of those pot roast burritos I heard about. Some show is talking about it. They heard they're pretty.
As employees, you're like, yeah, dumbass.
I'm telling you, like, if they literally started bringing an actual pot roast burrito to Golden Corral, I feel like that's like a we made it moment for us. Oh my God. All right. Let's talk about the special guys in the special teams. Because this is, I know a lot of people don't like talk too much about the special teams. It's one of the forgotten group there. But
I think it's going to be talked about a lot this year.
It's been talked about the last couple of years because we've sucked at it.
Yeah, and I think we made a big flip this year at it.
Huge. You know,
I mean, your head coach likes his special teams, and he's not Joe Judge. So, like, we've already talked about in previous podcasts that what we added, and Drew going to go into it, but it's a huge swing in the right direction.
Massive. So, you know, Ryan was on earlier, said that when I was on his show, I talked about the fact that how funny is we got 3 All-Pros. And the 3 All-Pros are a fullback, a kicker, and a punter. But it's the truth. We literally got 3 All-Pros this offseason. And that's what we got. Kicker Jason Sanders, who was a former All-Pro himself. We got Jordan Stout, the punter, who was first team All-Pro just last year. Then we get Calvin Austin to the mix as well. I got to throw him in there as well because he's a pretty damn good returner. You know, Liddy was one, especially in 24, is one of the best punt returners in the NFL.
Yeah.
So, you know, got to throw that into the mix there. Now, we also re-signed Gunner Olszewski, of course. We lost Jamie Gillen, but we cut him, so it's not a loss. We also cut Chris Board, who was a good – I'm going to include him in special teams because he wasn't really as much a linebacker as a special team tackler. He was the guy you put on coverage teams and stuff like that. And he was just really good at that. Again, former Raven, kind of shocked he got caught. Makes you wonder there's issues between him and Harbaugh. I don't know. Just makes me wonder. We also expect Graham Gano to get cut for those who haven't realized yet, because I know it's been going around like crazy. Graham Gano has only not been cut because they wanted to pass the physical first for cap reasons. That's everybody's been reporting that. You know, we saw Pat Trainer was the first one I saw report that, and we went with it because it makes a hell of a lot of sense after that. So we'll give her the credit. But, you know, a lot of people jumping onto that ship after she said that.
Yeah, Pat knows her stuff. So
yeah, exactly. So Sanders, assuming he's healthy again, was a freaking stud of a kicker. Absolute stud. So sorry, we got a lot of things going on in the chat there, but I saw somebody saying, you know, how good was the kicker we got? Sanders, again, 90% field goal kicker in 24. The big thing is he hurt his hip in 25. And we just don't know how he is health-wise. We got to imagine the Giants signed him. He's good to go. But here's the beauty of it. If he's not, hypothetically, we still got Ben Sauls. We're actually going to have a kicking competition in camp. So if he is hypothetically healthy, he's a good guy to have on there. If he's not healthy, we got Sauls. I'm fine with Sauls. I liked Sauls last year. Sauls looked damn good for the Steelers in their training camp as well. And Sauls going to have to beat him out. Like, this is not going to be like you hand the job to either one. The two of them are going to compete.
Exactly what I want.
As Anthony says, better call Saul. Since we got the Better Call Saul shirt also, of course, on
I was going to say, you know, it's coming.
Store as well. But yeah, like I said, I feel like if Sanders is healthy, and it's a big if, then it's going to be a massive, massive upgrade over what we've had the last couple of years because of all the injury issues with Gano, having like 3-4 kickers, having to get like Mason Crosby out of the retirement home, kick for a couple of games even. Like,
cool.
It was sad. It was really sad, guys, the last couple of years. And when he's gone, as Micah says, we'll free up $4.5 million. So that'd be some more money. And I've heard numbers today, by the way, people, because I've heard a lot of like, we only need this much money to have for our rookie class. I'm going to up it because I've heard $8 to $12 million. When I looked at the math based in the draft slot, I got $15 million. So I'm going to throw in there. We need $15 million right there to go ahead and sign the rookies. So again, that was a third of that right there. So the second he can get it into a physical and pass it, he'll be gone. But Stout, again, first team All-Pro. First team All-Pro. It's been a long time since we've had a punter like this, guys. I'm telling you, you guys are going to see the difference of what it means to have an actual punter, not just a guy that kicks it as hard as he can.
Yeah, strategic, placing it, dropping it, pinning them in the back of the field. Yeah,
pop it,
be good.
Twist it,
doink, pass it,
pull it, pop it. But yeah, it's like I said, you're gonna see a difference because he will be using those corners. He will be using actual hang time. I'm telling you guys, this is going to be a really nice addition to this roster. And again, Gunner Olszewski, we know what he is as a punt returner and kick returner. Having him back is nice. Having Calvin Austin, who's has a history of being a very good punt returner as well, good as well. So listen, from the kicker standpoint, the punter standpoint, the returner standpoint, it's a huge upgrade.
Yeah.
We're just going to assume that the blocking and coverage teams are just as good as they were last year. Because I just don't have any ability to tell you guys who's going to be on the punt return teams, the kickoff coverage teams, all this kind of stuff, the field goal blocking teams. Like, we don't know. We have no clue. Depends who the backups are. That's where it takes that. So we're just going to say special teams is better. It's a very safe thing to say, I think, right?
Yeah.
So, and again,
big improvement.
Massive.
Huge.
And it's funny. Anthony says, "Can we start a chart of real fans and the fair weather fans? Some of us struggled the past decade waiting this team to be good." Honestly, I can't even blame some people that gave up on this team. Considering how bad we were for how long, I cannot blame people at all. I'm not going to hold anybody against it.
We're in the middle of becoming the new Jets.
Especially when they got handed a medium Coke for their troubles. Like, just insanity. Insanity. And as Jay said there, having a great kicker is a weapon, and we lost so many games for the last 2 years. We have 100%. So Deb says that she grew up. She lived through the Dave Brown years. I remember those years very well. Oh my God. When Danny Cannell is a hero, that's when you know you're in trouble. Seriously, when Danny Cannell. So we got to give a little love too before we get out of here too. We got another content creator just popped in as well. Mac the Giants fan. What's up, man? Again, guys, it's a third one here. Pop in today that we got to say, if you haven't already, hit the like, hit the subscribe, show them some love there. So it's lovely. We have so many content creators popping in. It's like I said, it's just great that this really is a community kind of thing there. And y'all even just chit chatting amongst yourselves while we're talking as well too. It's freaking awesome. I love it. It's funny. I was talking to somebody who was thinking about starting a podcast. They were scared to do lives. Like, I don't want to do lives. Like, what's going to happen? I said, listen, you're going to talk to yourself the very first time you do it. Just be aware. You're talking to yourself, basically. Nobody be watching. I said, but eventually you build up a community. And like I said, we've definitely done that here, and I love that. It's nice. So appreciate y'all. Don't baby cry. Listen, that's going to call it a night for us here, guys. But before we do, let's take this as a little bit of a victory that first week of free agency. Because I really do feel like this team is better than it was.
Oh, hands down.
And let's be honest, we'll probably feel like that every year after free agency. I have to look back at the prior years we did the show, but we're probably always like, that's great. It's great. But it just feels improvement. It feels like it. So, so we're excited by it. Listen, guys, if you haven't already, before you leave, do me a favor. Especially if you're on YouTube, hit that thumbs up real quick there. We're at 39. Can we get to 50 before y'all leave? I got 104 of y'all in right now on YouTube. And if you're on X, Twitter, whatever the hell you want to call it, because I got 261 of y'all on X right now. Do me a favor. Pop onto YouTube. Hit the subscribe. Hit the like and all that fun stuff there and that thumbs up, because like I said, we always tell people, if you want to support a content creator, support them on YouTube, because that's the spot that really supports content creators, actually pays them at that point there. So like I said, appreciate you guys. We'll be back again Wednesday. I'm hoping we're going to start the draft cover stuff. We were talking about doing it today, but everybody was talking so much about, are the Giants better or not? It seemed to be the thing everybody wanted to talk about based on what I saw floating on X. So I'm like, you know what? Let's just do that real quick and we'll go over it there real quick. But again, appreciate you guys. We'll be back again on Wednesday. And I think we're going to change up our order. I think we're going to start with running backs this year. Because everybody wants to talk about love. Everybody wants to talk about their running backs, and everybody thinks we're going to get a running back. So I think we're going to start with running back. So assuming nothing happens signing-wise, we'll be back there, like I said, on Wednesday doing the running backs there. Again, appreciate you guys. We are live every Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, along with bonus episodes whenever something big happens. So last week we did 5 episodes back to back because of so much stuff happening. We are on, of course, YouTube, which is the preferred platform, along with, of course, Facebook, Twitter/X. I'm like, it's been a long day. Twitter/X, Twitch, and of course, Rob's favorite, my LinkedIn profile. At that time. What now? And then, of course, as always, we're available the next day on all the audio podcast platforms: Apple, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Pandora, all the big ones there. Again, appreciate you guys for showing here some love here and coming out to talk football with us today, supporting, watching, listening. We will see you guys again Wednesday. And did we hit our goal, by the way? Did we hit our goal? We're at 44, I'm showing here in the thumbs up, guys. We need 6 more to hit 50.
Come on, guys.
We get 6 more thumbs up? Can we do it? Can we do it? I thought it went down for a second. Like, how did it go down? It just reloaded for some reason. We'll see you guys there on Wednesday. And as always, Giant fans,
Go G-Man!
Go G-Man! G-Man!
Thanks for listening to Two Giant Goofballs, a New York Giants podcast. We appreciate your support.
Thanks so much.
Please, I'm begging you. Please.